cam, and chat.
Yeah.
Hey.
Now they can hear us.
I'm a real podcast engineer.
Ooh la la. And so I made the chat invisible and the intro song invisible.
Okay.
For today.
So no chat.
No chat on the screen because...
Right, because we're not doing that.
Because we need
the full screen.
We still want people to chat, but we also need the full screen because we're going to show everybody our cool stuff that we got.
How do we chat? Should I go to Facebook or something?
You can go to Facebook and you'll see that Post-Orthodoxy has gone live.
All right, I'm going to go to Facebook. New message request. Unboxing. All right.
Now, I can't see it.
Well, you can't see what?
I can't see, obviously, since I'm not looking at the computer.
Exactly.
So you have to tell me if I look dumb or if somebody says something interesting.
You're not in the screen yet because of 7 seconds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, now you're in.
Right. Exactly.
You got a chair?
Do I need to sit? Should I sit?
Your head's cut off.
Okay. Well, that's awkward.
We like your head.
Okay. Now I'll pretend to be you, the person that...
Okay.
The person that doesn't get to ever see what's going on live.
Pretend to be me.
Okay, so I'm Ainsley Sevier, and it's really hard for me on this podcast because I don't ever know what anybody's doing in the moment.
We've switched around. I don't either because I'm watching our Facebook page.
Well, if you want to, you can go to the OBS. You just won't be able to see the chat because I made the chat invisible this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if somebody commented...
You would see that on...
David Hildebrand said, fun.
Hey, David Hildebrand.
Hi.
So at the very bottom of the computer, on the bar at the very bottom, there's an orange R.
Yeah.
So click that.
Oh, what happens?
That will open the Restream chat.
Oh.
So now you will be able to see anything anybody says.
Okay, very good.
And it should just stay on top of the screen all the time.
The chat is waiting for a new message.
Yeah.
Okay. What are we unboxing, Ainsley Sevier?
So today we're opening up our mobile podcast studio stuff.
Why do we need we already have a podcast studio. Why do we need a mobile podcast studio?
Because what if we ever want to interview someone who's not in this building or town?
And they can't zoom in or whatever.
And what if we're not also in this building?
What if we're somewhere else and we want to do a show?
What if we're somewhere else and we want to do a show?
All right.
Which is true. It's true. I'm really committed. Look.
This mobile studio looks substantially smaller than our home studio.
And it's going to get smaller as I take it out of boxes.
Oh, yeah.
So when KBMF kicked us out of the radio station Dark helped start, even though we'd already agreed to do what they asked us to do, fans of Post-Orthodoxy came together and helped us raise almost $5,000.
Which is like a third of what the radio station raised for their annual fund drive.
It's true. This past year.
I guess some people liked our show.
Yeah, some people liked our show. They like what we're doing. They support us as humans. We really appreciate those people. And it took us, because of us finally getting like legitimate paying jobs in the film industry all in a row, it took us a really long time to get everything set up here in this room and ready to go so that we could stream and chat with all of you guys. And so it took like 9 months.
Yeah.
To start season 2.
Right.
Which is fitting, I suppose.
Sure.
A rebirth of sorts.
Right. David Hildebrand wants to know what's in the box.
I'll tell you. I will tell you. And so because of that, I'm really committed now that we have our stream schedule up to keep our agreement with the friends of the show and the people that communicate with us regularly.
Right.
To keep streaming. And also, due to all of the self-work that I've been doing these days and my supportive husband, we're going to go and see my family.
Yes.
Who I've not seen in 2 years.
I get to meet your folks. And
my folks get to meet you.
And your brothers and sisters and stuff.
Yes. And so we're going to go see my sister in Missouri. She's really cool. She's always been very unconditionally loving. And even though she hasn't always agreed with or understood my lifestyle.
My
lifestyle. Yeah. And she plays Cards Against Humanity. And
she's a radical then.
Radical. Okay. So anyway, that's going to be fun. And then we'll go to my childhood best friend's wedding on the North Carolina coast. And that's always going to be lovely. The Ingalls house was one of the few places in my life growing up that I always felt like I could be myself and they liked it. And that was really wonderful. And then we're going to go and see my mom and dad and the 4 younger siblings that are still living at home with them. And my sister, my other married sister who has kids, who has very graciously offered to let us.
Is this lipstick or chapstick?
It's chapstick. It might have a bit of a sheen to it, but you should go for it.
Put some of that on my head when it's all shiny.
And while we're out traveling, I want to keep doing our show. And so I got all this, stickers. Thank you, Movo. Happy? I got all the things that I need. To keep doing radio shows with you guys.
It's not radio anymore.
Oh, right.
Live streams. Yeah.
To keep having our live conversations together. So that means we're going to go back to streaming off my phone.
Oh.
But we're going to do it in a way that's not annoying for our listeners.
Less janky than before.
Much less janky. We can still have the restream chat.
Good audio.
Yep. We can still have the restream chat. Actually, I might not even have to take it off. I don't know. Actually, we'll find out. But we're going to have better audio and a little light. So that's pretty cool. But this is some of the stuff that our audience helped us purchase because there were cooler gadgets that I could have, spent stuff on in here to kind of spruce up the space, or like I really need a new computer for myself, that sort of thing. But I'm very committed to not just starting streaming for a month and then stopping for a month while I'm on this quest, this like long quest, and you guys have all been a part of the therapy. How
There's
to
a button in the back. No.
How do I make it bigger?
Me look.
Yeah.
Here, unbox another thing.
Maybe I have to unscrew it.
Yeah.
I don't know. You check it out. Anyway, that's the stand. And then cool thing is I'm learning so many new terms doing this whole podcast setup thing. There's hot shoes.
Oh, God. You just have to crank it up.
Okay, that's okay. That's not the end of the world.
That's what I'm saying. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's great.
So it's not something you just release or lock back in.
Cold shoes and hot shoes.
Here you go.
Thanks. And it's not the original Grimm's fairy tale shoes that they made the evil stepmother dance in until she died.
Slide sideways because you slide it through.
Right. Not ready
so
yet.
Crank it up a little bit. Yeah.
It's this is
light bar? No.
Uh-oh.
What?
I need something to connect this to that, I think. Oh. Yeah, I think the shoe might need a shoe. We might be missing.
We'll find out.
We might be missing a piece here. Yeah. Anyway, so.
What's that thing? In between the two pieces? What's that? Is that a piece of leather? Oh, it's a strap.
Yeah. So if I want to be, I don't need the stand. I could be like, hey guys, how are you doing? How have you been? Right now we're at Paris. Click, and then click to my front-facing camera, and then you're looking at Paris. And I also don't have to worry about dropping my entire everything on the ground. It was actually Movo put out the only one of these that had a strap that went on it. And I'm like, that's weird. So anyway, we're just gonna keep
cranking.
I hope they said it was big enough. Yeah. So how do you feel about that? What? I don't think we're going to be able to do Zoom guests the month that we're gone. We can find local guests.
Yeah, we can just turn the camera to the guest, actual human.
Yeah, we can have an actual human. So this is very secure. So it screws up and it screws down. So that's cool. We're
also going to go visit the namesake town. Even though we pronounce our name Sevier, we're going to go through Tennessee and go to Sevierville in Sevier County. That's where Dollywood is.
Right.
Named after my great-great-great-great-grandfather, John Sevier.
That's kind of cool.
I wonder if he pronounced it Sevier himself back in 1760, whatever.
I'm sad about my shoe being in the incorrect shoe.
I think he probably said Sevier.
You think he did?
Sure. In the 1700s?
Back in the olden days?
Yeah. Everybody had a much larger education at the time, and we're not too afraid of foreign languages because everybody was still foreign pretty much.
Right, everyone. Right, everybody was. It's true. So that's going to be exciting to see your ancestral town.
Yeah, I saw it when I was a kid, and we went and visited some cabin, and it was a museum cabin. Where it was a gift shop, so you could go buy the John Sevier comic book, where it tells the heroic tale of John Sevier and how he forged into the Tennessee River Valley and saved his wife from, according to the narrative of the time, the savages.
Whoa.
And pulled her up over his fort wall. And that's why I'm here today.
Oh, so she wasn't his wife at the time. He just rescued her and then she married him?
Maybe that's what happened. I don't remember the comic book.
This is cool. It comes with little filters so you can have different colors of light. Smartphone LED video light.
All right.
Okay, it has a little tiny charging cord. Here are some shoes. This is good.
Franch.
Okay, look. Cold shoe, hot shoe.
David Hildebrand said 50-cent 1/4 inch screw should solve the problem.
Thank you. I think that's exactly what we're going to have to
He
do.
also told, he said, say hi to Dolly.
Do you know Dolly, David?
He's over in, where's the CIA live? He lives in that town.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, D.C.
Not D.C., not Lynchburg, that's where we're going. Some Virginia place.
Okay.
Those are the pieces.
But see, look. This is
I'm looking.
I think this is a cold shoe. And this is really sexist, actually, I'm finally realizing. The
Yeah.
hot shoe is the one that has the Audi.
That's right.
The hot shoe has the screw coming out.
Has the male part.
The male part. The yang part.
Yeah, the yang.
And the cold shoe is the flat. The flat. Anyway.
So whoever named that wasn't having a good time? Is that what you're insinuating?
I don't know. Like, why would they do that? Okay. But yeah, anyway, we're going to have to get a little male to male.
Let me see. No, that's what that thing is.
No, this came with we might actually be able to do with this.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Thanks to this light for sending us a piece that...
Oh, wait. Oh, okay. That's a different thing. Mm-hmm. There you go. You didn't have to spend the 50 cents.
We'll see. We'll see if it takes. Oh, damn. All right. It's getting serious. Serious. I'm surreal. Okay. Everything's all on there now.
And so the light fits in that little bar?
Mm-hmm. And so say... I'm streaming at myself. Hey. Here, I'll do it like this. I'll do it at you guys. So you can sort of see yourself.
What do you... Oh.
Switch. So theoretically, this is what you guys look like to us. Is you're just a Sony A6300 camera on a tripod in front of a giant light. Not just. But we pretend that we're looking at your beautiful, interesting faces.
This is our cyborg interface.
And this is what... And so then pretend that you're that Sony A6300 camera.
And in the background, you can see...
Norm
Goodwin's awesome print that we have.
Right. And so this is the light that's going to shine on your beautiful faces.
Turn it on and blind them.
I don't know if I...
Is it batteries or what?
It might need to be charged first.
You just charge it and then throw it on there?
Yeah. And then I don't know how long.
Hey, there's a light.
Oh, it came on?
Yeah, I see a light. Isn't that a light? I'm seeing a reflection. Let me see.
No, that's not. I don't know what that... Oh, that's this.
No, I saw another light. It's not on, though. Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, anyway, we'll pretend it's on. And we can do this orange filter or this...
Filter.
Less bright filter.
Opaque filter.
Okay, that's really cool. All right. Putting all my stuff out of the camera. And then... Sound. Rode. One of those brands that has started to make me feel like really excited and turned on with all the research that I've done. It's like anytime you hear about something Rode, R-O-D-E. R with a weird O, D-E. That's some high quality shit right there. So that's exciting. This is the microphone we will use if, say, like what happened with Chaz/Chop, where you took, we were still volunteering to provide investigative journalism for KBMF at that point.
Not appreciated, apparently.
No, only certain kinds of investigations.
Yeah. Something should not be investigated.
Something should not be investigated. Screw you. I still mitigate my swearing. So we were anyway.
That's some good radio training right there.
Phew, they've sure got me. What happened was.
What the hell is that?
What do you mean?
Oh, that's for the mic.
Yeah. So Dark went. We rented a car. Some listeners to Post-Orthodoxy sent us a little bit of money. We rented a car, much like what happened when you wanted to go out and do news for Standing Rock.
Yeah.
And you drove out there.
Yeah. I drove out there and then just camped out.
Yep. In a tent, a literal tent.
Actually, I slept in the car the first night because it was 2:00 in the morning and I didn't want to set up a tent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And how was that?
It wasn't very good because I'm 6'9" and it was a small car. And so I tried the back seat, but everything's ergonomically designed, which means not for a human body.
Not for laying down.
Just for a human butt. So then I took all the stuff out of the trunk and put it into the front and slept in the trunk because there was more room. I didn't tell you that part?
No.
So periodically I'd lift up the trunk and look out to see what was going on out there when I heard noise or whatever. But
baby, that's so funny.
I still couldn't stretch out very well, but it was better than the car.
And so what if I want to rotate this thing? So you borrowed one of the news team recorders from KBMF and went out to Capitol Hill Occupied protest in Seattle.
Right.
And did some interviews.
Did some interviews, and it was more fact-finding because at the time of the Capitol Hill thing that was going on, people who were not in Seattle, who didn't know what Capitol Hill was as a place and a district with a history, only heard that maniacs were burning down Seattle or something.
All of Seattle.
All of Seattle was being destroyed by maniacs. And then the news coming out of both sides of the news spectrum. There's not much of a spectrum in mainstream news. The Twitter sphere, whatever. You're only getting an image and one person's perspective, and a lot of it wasn't with context.
Right.
So I didn't know what I was walking into, and then I found out. I went there to find out. Capitol Hill is a place that has had a history of poverty and being rough, and then it had a history of like the artists coming in and saying maybe not so much. That's what artists do. They move into places where things are cheap, and then they make it expensive, and then people want to move there, and then the artists have to leave. So that's kind of where they are at Capitol Hills. There's some just insane... Those big cranes, the whole Capitol Hill area was surrounded by giant cranes building condos for people who like to be around artists. And then the artists were scurrying out from under the cranes to go find a place to live.
And then what happened?
And then I talked to people and I watched what was going on, and it was a very narrow area of Seattle where things were going on.
Oh, it was a very tiny part of Seattle.
Yeah, it was. I was fairly convinced, like so many other people were, that there was obviously this big widespread scenario happening in Seattle. But so yeah, I went, talked to some people. I got a narrative from the people who actually live there, not partisan hacks who needed to have a perspective on a story.
Right. So
they had to have the left perspective or the right perspective, even whether they were there or not. So I went and just talked to people who were there, and yeah, it was very enlightening. We should go revisit that story sometime. I have some interviews that I never actually produced.
Yeah, we only posted one interview now. From a local.
Yeah, the local was saying, since this protest has started, and the police have been kicked out, that was the deal. The police got kicked out of the Capitol Hill, and that's where all the more right-leaning people were like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. The local that I talked to said it has been so much nicer that now that the police are gone, because I was trying to, eat my pasta and watch news with tear gas coming through it was just this constant cloud of tear gas.
Right, and he also acknowledged, look, we've always had protests and things go. That's what Capitol Hill is.
Capitol Hill is that zone.
A place where people protest things.
But it got so violent, like what happened in Standing Rock. It got so violent that there had to be some things had to change. I mean, regular folks just living in their condos were getting gassed by the Seattle Police Department. And it didn't matter what their political affiliation was or what their views were. And that might be the thing. Once people with money moved into that area, suddenly the police stopped tear gassing people when they didn't like it.
Yeah.
If it had just been artists and poor people there, the tear gas might have never stopped flowing.
Right.
I'm just making this up as I go, but
that's a theory.
That's the way it kind of. I think that's what really would happen.
And that's why we need to keep.
That's why we have our mobile kit.
Doing these sorts of interviews so that you can get at least some of you, those of you that tune in to these kinds of conversations, will be able to hear a story from someone who's actually there instead of somebody who's been paid to give you a particular kind of story. So strangulation hazard for these lavalier microphones, so be careful.
That would be tragic.
This cable contains Kevlar and has the potential risk of causing lacerations or strangulation. Avoid looping the cable around the neck and keep out of reach of children. And then I don't think I'm going to be able to get this off without scissors or a razor blade. But yeah, so we could murder somebody with this lavalier microphone, I suppose.
That's what they're saying.
They're that's definitely.
Will they let me bring that on an airplane then?
Kevlar? This murder
microphone?
weapon?
Yeah, we could just go to the cockpit and strangle the pilot with that.
We recently finished a tour. So
we were terrorists.
We have this one Rode microphone setup, which this obviously needs some troubleshooting because I need to this is supposed to be pointing at you, the interviewer, and the shoe doesn't fit that way, so we got to figure that out. I got to refigure it out so I can rotate it because it should be pointing at you like this or at whoever you're interviewing like that, right?
Can I see?
Yeah, and then it has a little sock, whatever, dead cat. What do they call these? They call these a dead cat?
Sure, it's a dead cat.
No, there's a special film term for keeping the wind out of your microphone.
Dead cat works for me.
So it has one of those. And then if it's just the two of us.
Yeah, it does seem to be somewhat. I think it's going to require an Allen wrench.
Yeah, and I want to do it really carefully because I really don't want to ruin it.
No, this thing's. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't force it.
I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to force it too much.
Too much. So then we have, if it's just me and Dark. Or just one of us and
Isn't it supposed to be Dark and I?
If it's just me. No, what you do is you take the other person out of the sentence and see if you would say me or I. Oh. So if it's just me, I wouldn't say if it's just I. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. Itty bitty. And it came, so then we can do these wired in lavalier microphones and hand me my little purple headphones that are up there on top of that shelf of doom back there. And so then we have our clippies. And I can be monitoring how the sound goes with my headphones.
That's so much fun. Look at that whole little setup. Bing! This is more than...
I could take this on an airplane.
This is more than the news stations had.
Without having to have a check-in.
When I was a wee bairn.
Yeah. And we just get to have it just being random schmucks that people believed in. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
I might be stumped right here with how to make this. No, it goes in like this.
Pop it in like a bobby pin or something.
I don't know. I don't want to ruin it.
Let me see that. Everything you showed me, I've not been able to help with.
You might actually be the expert with the lavalier microphones. And so these are pretty short. So this is just what we would do if it was just the two of us streaming to you guys, and we're like.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I'm not going to try.
Not going to force it.
I'm not going to force it.
We're going to sit.
Well, you can just. Yeah.
Sit this far away, me, and then Dark over here on the other side. And then
we'll figure it out later.
And then we have our chat going down the middle right there. So that'd be nice. Yeah. Sweet. Anyway. Did anybody else say anything interesting besides our friend David Hildebrand?
David Hildebrand's just been hanging in there for a little bit, telling us stuff.
Appreciate that.
His last comment was 9 minutes ago. He may no longer be with us.
May have pooped out. Yeah. It wasn't the most exciting video. I think it's just fun because I know there are nerds out there like me that are into this sort of thing. So I think it's fun, and plus it gives us a chance to like really specifically thank
our folks,
the people that helped us put this together, and I just wanted you to know that I prioritized this equipment out of our streaming budget
So we can hit the road and do shows.
And continue to keep up our streaming schedule that we've committed to with y'all.
That looks really, I like this whole thing.
It's pretty cool, right?
Kind of exciting.
And you can do it like this too. You can be like, hi.
Kind of disturbs me every time you do that.
Oh, me being an influencer. Hi. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, since you're running the show today, how about you go back to OBS?
Okay.
We're doing this so that Dark can run the thing while I'm out of town for the week that I'm gone.
Okay.
And then on the right,
I'm gonna
on the left.
Shut the chat window.
Oh yeah, shut
my
restream.
left.
On your left, in the scenes, there's a scene called Startup.